Alright, we're going to discuss this meeting between Rick Perry and this guy from the coal industry and this supposed whistleblower. Quite simply, I'm trying to think of the easiest way to say this, the best way to say this. First and foremost, it takes about 4 minutes on Google, Bing, or Yahoo, or any other search engine you choose to use to find out that there's a public record of this meeting between Rick Perry and this coal executive. As a matter of fact, there's multiple meetings. Now, the fact that this guy believes he's a whistleblower and was only privy to one meeting, and he's like, oh my God, it's like they knew each other. Well, guess what? They did. They've had many meetings. They've known each other for quite a long time. Rick Perry, as well as many other governors all across the United States of America, have spent an exorbitant amount of time meeting with senior executives of different industries for different purposes. Rick Perry at this point was meeting with this guy from the coal industry, but you know what? At the end of the day, if somebody from the government is meeting with an industry expert who has a company who is going to be leading in the research and development of new technology in that field, suppose it to say that they're not going to go to an outside organization that knows nothing about what they're talking about. The government is not going to go to Mothers Against Drunk Drivers to figure out how to make car seats safer. They're going to go to the auto industry and car seat manufacturers and marry those two people together, and that's how you get new technology to make things safer. The same thing when you're trying to research clean coal. If you're trying to figure out a way to make coal a cleaner fuel, which happens to be one of the most abundant fossil fuels that we have, to be able to generate heat for people's houses, to be able to generate electricity, to be able to do a lot of things, and you're looking at cleaner ways to do that, who better to go to than the coal industry, the people who already have the technology to use this product to develop that technology further. That's why these memorandums come from these different organizations. It's no different than us going to an auto manufacturer such as Ford or General Motors to come up with new technology to make cars safer. I mean, I would think that this would be common sense. Now, as far as this guy being a whistleblower and saying that, they're hiding stuff, they're having him delete pictures and stuff like that, and that's obstruction of justice. Obstruction of justice is a charge, is a crime that is only a crime when you are purposefully getting rid of evidence of a crime. And I'm sorry, but Rick Perry having a public meeting is not a crime. And so the Department of Energy firing you and telling you to get rid of all the materials that you had in the Department of Energy is not obstruction of justice because there was no crime. Now, if you can prove that there was, maybe you actually would be a whistleblower. But until then, you need to brush up on the First Amendment and find out exactly what it says. Do you have the freedom of speech? Yes. Do you have the freedom of consequences of your speech? No. And if you work for a private organization or a government organization where you have possibly signed something like, I don't know, a contract, which I know you signed. I spent too many years working for the United States government to know what you signed. When you sign those contracts, you don't have a First Amendment to talk about the things that you are privy to, unless you were specifically bringing out illegal activity. And a public meeting between a government official and a senior executive of a corporation who is developing new technology is not a crime. Unless that guy is developing sarin gas to be used in the Aleppo province of Syria, and we're going to try to blame it on, I don't know, the Russians, then I'm sorry. There was no actual crime committed. Get off of your freaking high horse. Quit listening to your mother. You weren't that important. Y'all have a great day. I hope this sheds a little bit of light on somebody's opinion who has no idea what they're talking about.